Hello, my name is Kamal. I am from the clouds. I'm a human now, but I used to be a raindrop. Word up, I'm really good at putting words up. I make them levitate and circle with the birds. I don't need to force it, I let it occur. Whatever occurs, thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. The running attacks on both sides should be a key factor in today's game as both teams come in ranked top 10 in rushing touchdowns. It's the Rams going up against the Lions. So with kickoff approaching, let's send it over to our commentators here this afternoon, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL sends us to the state of Michigan as we are inside Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Los Angeles Rams and the Detroit Lions. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Dumps it off to Gurley. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
I'm still astounded by the recovery of Todd Gurley from the knee injury at Georgia, the offensive rookie of the year in his first season.
Yeah, over 1,100 yards, and now, they drafted the rookie Jared Goff. Kind of see him as their future, but so much of the focus has to be on Gurley this year, doesn't it?
And the future becomes now if Todd Gurley keeps running the football the way that we've seen him run it in the past, because that will make it easier to break in a rookie quarterback.
All right, here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. And it's second down. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
Sean Lee is a linebacker with an exciting mix of tackling ability and coverage skills.
Hurry up, here we go.
2nd and 10, Goff again. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up a third down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. Goff now looks to throw. He's going to find his man. That's Tavon Austin. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
It's an end around. Tavon Austin. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams take it right down and score on the opening drive. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Rams take a 7-0 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. All right, let's get a peek at these starters here in the Golden Child, Golden Tate.
Love his versatility, because you can use him anywhere in your offense, and he's an excellent kick returner. Loves to play the game, plays with passion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. That one intended for Anquan Bolden, and it's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Martin to punt it away for Detroit. Deep for the Rams, Tavon Austin. Now Austin. Might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. Now Goff on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Nine yards to go. It's 3rd down. They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. Throwing on 3rd. Goff. And it's complete to Brett. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
No matter how you evaluate quarterbacks, at some point arm strength is going to come into the conversation. I'm really impressed by what I saw on that throw on the out route.
The one running back is Gurley. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a guy carrying the ball, your eyes are going to direct your feet, and you're hoping they carry you to the open spaces. But it's awfully difficult at times because you have so many things you have to look out for. Where's the line blocking? Where's the traffic coming from? Tough to find open spots.
A play fake to Gurley. Now Goff. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Here we go now. Boom, line up.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Let's see if the defense tries any pressure here on 3rd and 8. Here's Goff. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. And he's able to put it through. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
The defense here for the Rams.
Michael Brockers was a first-round pick coming out of college and has done nothing but enhance that status. A tremendous player inside.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. To throw on 2nd down to Stafford. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. They come up in an offset eye. They go play action here on 1st down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
And now a 1st down following that long gain. Now Stafford hands to Abdullah. And a solid run down inside the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
But when your first NFL carry is a 36-yard touchdown run with a really nifty move to get into the end zone, people expect big things out of you. And Amir Abdullah, they're waiting for him to fulfill that promise.
Yeah, had the shoulder surgery in January, but really expected to be the man this year in Detroit. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And he connects with Ebron. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On second down, here's Stafford. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. This will be caught at about the 5. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
On first down, it's gone. And he's got his man on the out route. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Well, the coaches mentioned they weren't as concerned about big play offense. They thought they could get some shorter, quicker stuff and be consistent. And that's kind of what they showed there.
What they saw in preparation, what they saw on film, is a defense that likes to get out fast in terms of coverage, meaning they either bail out or they give them a lot of space to throw the underneath stuff, so they decided they'd take advantage of it and worked on it hard in practice this week.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And there it was right in front of us. Today's NFL, these guys nowadays, they don't just eat up space, they try and get upfield and make plays in the backfield. Third and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. From the gun on 3rd down. Gone. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So the Rams call on Johnny Hecker here to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep is the former Seahawk, Golden Tate. Now it's Tate. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. So a play fake here on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Throwing is Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Every time I see a hitch pattern dropped, I go back to the combine because there's a drill that they use all the time that's called the gauntlet drill, where a receiver catches the ball and just works his way straight down the line and catches it from different sides. And the problem with that drill is that you don't actually have to secure the catch. You just got to catch it, drop it immediately, and keep moving.
And a loose football. And fortunately, he's able to get this one back, so it is a first down. And defensively, maybe an opportunity miss there.
No doubt about it. When that ball's out, all you're thinking about as a defender is, this is our chance to make a huge play. Instead, he's able to recover his own fumble. And big sigh of relief, huh?
Yeah, usually those wide receiver fumbles, there's open space around for the defense, but not there. He hops right back on it. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. On first down, it's Stafford. This is a screen to Abdullah. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. To the air again, Stafford. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target, and it's 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. They'll come out in the pistol. Stafford looks to throw again. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Robert Quinn in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. So as it turns out, that sack does not wind up costing him, at least in terms of getting points. They get 3.
Yeah, once you see your quarterback go down the backfield, you think, uh-oh. But fortunately for them, the kicker came to the rescue and made sure they got something out of that drive after all.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going.
Looking for Brett, intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Stafford gives to Abdullah. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
We saw in 2015 Mark Barron really emerge in the NFL.
Yeah, as a defensive back, 16 tackles for a loss. But now, how about where he's at now?
Yeah, truthfully, he's no longer a defensive back. He's really an outside linebacker, but he doesn't want to hear that. So his coach tells him, you're a defensive back.
Makes
Just
him
play
feel
over
better.
here. That's all. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On first down, Abdullah. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On second down, here's Stafford. He finds the tight end Harbor, complete. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal.
Now that's the way you run offense. Understanding your clock situation. Excellent job getting to the sideline and getting out of bounds. That's the way to conserve time.
They come out here in the I. First and goal here from the 2. They run. Abdullah. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones as the first half is winding down. And the Lions are a 2-point conversion away from tying this game. Now Matt Prater for the point after. And this is up and good. It brings him within a point now. It's 14-13. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. On first and 10, Goff. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. The final shot before break here. Goff. His throw incomplete. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and now it's second down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down. To the right side to Eric Ebron. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Fresh set of downs here. They go play action here on first down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Now a give. This is Abdullah. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Stafford. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
The one running back is Gurley. Well, now they'll try the end around. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Three yards left to grab here on 3rd down.
Here we go now. Detroit!
Goff on 3rd down. Looking for Brent. Intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to cut it back right. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last Last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Goff. Caught here left side by Brett. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On second down, here's Goff. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now a play fake here on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Throwing again is Goff. And he can't hang on. He had a good shot there for his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game. And I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. On the return, it's Tate. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. So it'll be first down here after the run. They go back to Abdullah on first. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it's going to be third down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and he showed it right there, didn't he?
That's that wrestling background he has. He understands leverage as well as anyone in the game. A big-time wrestler in high school. He didn't look
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
To throw on 2nd down is gone. Austin's got it left side. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The one running back is Gurley. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he will get the first down as he's up to the 20-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Gurley again here on 1st down. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
But that is not my father or my grandfather's defensive tackle, because those guys, they were pretty static on the line of scrimmage, just kind of hold things up, and if plays came to them, they made some tackles. Nowadays, your job is to get upfield, get into the offensive backfield, and make plays. And oh my goodness, can these guys run nowadays? That's why they're able to make plays all up and down the line of scrimmage.
The intended receiver, Tavon Austin, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
They'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 14 yards there on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. So out now come the Lions. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Alec Ogletree in on the stop. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Second down following the run.
Here we go.
Again, it's Abdullah. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a fourth down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. This will be, let's see, 38 yards out. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. On second down, here's Stafford. And he rifles one incomplete. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down. Throwing on third down, Stafford. This is Riddick on the screen. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
That's complete. It's Brian Quick. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Here's Goff now on second down. Got his man over the middle. This is Quick. That one goes for 24 yards.
Detroit!
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Goff on first down. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
So second and 10 here.
Here we go now. Blue landed. Blue landed.
Second and 10. Goff again. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense.
Let's go. 3-19.
Third and 2. Goff. He finds Quick. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Shift together here from the D-line. Now a first down throw. Goff completes it right side to Britt. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And this time they go underneath for a simple pitch and catch.
And not only do you get the pitch and catch, Brandon, but you're able to keep the receiver moving when you hit him with the drag route.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, what was that all game? Or maybe he's just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game, because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for.
To throw on second down is gone. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Goff now looking to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Set, 3-19. 3-19.
To the air again. Goff. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Tavon Austin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams are able to draw a bit closer. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Abdullah. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. When you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
A 2nd down run for Abdullah. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often. But you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Tavon Wilson, and they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Lions, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Washington Redskins come to town. Meanwhile, for the Rams, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants.